My beloved, you paused. After everything that pulled at your attention today, after all the noise and all the rushing, you stopped here. You felt something, didn't you? A pull, a whisper, a sense that this moment is different from all the others you scrolled past without thinking. I need you to understand something right now before your mind talks you into leaving. This is not random. This is not chance. This is not one more message in an endless stream of words that will fade the moment you close this screen. I interrupted your day on purpose. I slowed your steps intentionally. I brought you here because what I am about to tell you cannot wait for another season, another night, or another moment when you feel more ready. You have been searching. Not always with clear words, not always with focused prayers. Sometimes it was just a feeling, a heaviness in your chest. A question that formed in the quiet spaces between your responsibilities. You asked me in ways you didn't even recognize as asking. Through exhaustion, through tears that fell when no one was watching, through the sigh that escaped your lips when you thought you had to hold everything together one more day. I heard every single one. Stay with me now. I know there is a part of you that wants to scroll on, to tell yourself this probably isn't meant for you, that you have heard things like this before and nothing changed. I am not offended by that hesitation. I understand it. You have learned to protect your heart from disappointment. You have learned to lower your expectations because hoping too much hurt too deeply when nothing shifted. But I am asking you, just for these next few minutes, to let that guard down, not forever, not in some dramatic way. Just enough to hear what I have been trying to say to you for longer than you realize. You were not supposed to carry this weight alone. I know you did. I know you had to. I know there were moments when no one else was there to hold what you were holding, and you had no choice but to push through. But somewhere along the way, survival became your identity. Strength became synonymous with silence. You stopped asking for help because asking felt like admitting you were failing. And I watched it all. I saw you smile when your heart was breaking. I saw you show up when everything in you wanted to shut down. I saw you give to others from a place of emptiness because you believed that was what love required. I never asked that of you. I never told you that your worth was measured by how much you could endure without breaking. That lie crept in quietly. It sounded like wisdom. It sounded like responsibility, but it was stealing your peace one day at a time. And you didn't even notice because you were too busy making sure everything else kept moving. Listen carefully. I am not disappointed in you. I am not frustrated by how long it has taken you to arrive at this moment. I am not shaking my head at your struggles or your questions or your doubts. I have been walking with you through every single one of those days that felt impossible. Every morning you woke up already tired. Every night you laid down with your mind still racing. Every moment you felt like you were failing, even though you were doing everything you could think of to hold your life together. I was there, not distant, not distracted, not waiting for you to figure it out on your own before I would step closer. I was present in your confusion. I was near in your exhaustion. I was with you when you felt most alone, and I want you to know why this moment matters, why you are here, why I held your attention when 1,000 other things were competing for it. Something is shifting, not because of anything you did or didn't do, not because you finally prayed the right way or waited long enough. Something is shifting because the season of preparation is complete. You have been in a hallway longer than you expected. Doors behind you closed. Doors in front of you stayed shut. You felt stuck. You felt forgotten. You wondered if you had missed your turn, if everyone else was moving forward while you were left standing still. But you were never stuck. You were being prepared, not punished, not overlooked, prepared. There were things I could not give you earlier because you were not yet ready to carry them without them crushing you. There were opportunities I had to close because walking through them would have led you into places that looked right but would have left you empty. There were people I had to remove from your path, not because they were bad, but because they were wrong for where you are going, and you could not see any of that while it was happening. All you felt was the waiting, the frustration, the loneliness of watching others receive what you were still praying for. I know you tried not to compare. I know you told yourself to be grateful, to trust the process, to believe that your time would come. But comparison crept in anyway. It whispered that you were behind, that you had done something wrong, that maybe you were not as favored as you thought. Those whispers were lies, but they felt true because the evidence in front of you seemed to confirm them. Here is what you could not see while you were waiting. I was working. Not in the loud, obvious ways you were looking for. I was working in the hidden places in your character, in your discernment, in your ability to hear my voice even when nothing around you made sense. I was removing things from your future that would have wounded you. I was aligning connections that required precise timing. I was teaching you to trust me in the dark so that when the light comes, your faith will not waver the moment things get difficult again. You learned things in that waiting that you could not have learned any other way. You learned that your value is not tied to productivity. You learned that rest is not laziness. You learned that asking for help is not weakness. You learned that you do not have to have all the answers to take the next step. Those lessons did not feel like progress. They felt like stillness, like nothing. But they were forming depth in you that will carry you through everything that is coming. And now that depth is ready to be used. I know you have questions. I know you want to know when and how and what exactly is about to happen. I am not going to answer all of those questions right now. Not because I am withholding, but because some things are only understood as they unfold. What I will tell you is this: you are entering a new season. Not because you forced it. Not because you manipulated circumstances or pushed doors open that I wanted closed. You are entering it because you stayed faithful, even when faithfulness felt foolish. You kept showing up even when showing up felt pointless. You kept believing even when belief felt like the hardest thing you had ever done. That is why this moment exists. That is why you are here. That is why I am speaking to you now in a way that your spirit recognizes, even if your mind is still trying to make sense of it. You were never forgotten. You were never overlooked. You were never punished by delay. You were being prepared for something that required you to be stronger, wiser, and more rooted than you were before. And now you are. I need you to do something for me right now. I need you to release the weight you have been carrying. Not all at once. Not in some dramatic moment of letting go. Just begin. Begin by acknowledging that you were never meant to hold all of this on your own. Begin by admitting that you are tired, and that being tired is not failure. Begin by accepting that rest is not something you have to earn. It is something I offer freely, and you are allowed to receive it. You have been strong for so long. You have been the one others leaned on. You have been the one who kept everything moving, even when you felt like falling apart. And that strength is real. I see it. I honor it. But strength was never meant to operate without support. You were never meant to be an island. You were created for connection, for community, for relationship, and part of what I am doing in this new season is bringing you back into that. Back into a place where you can be honest about what you are carrying, where you can ask for help without shame, where you can rest without guilt. I know that sounds impossible right now. I know your mind is already listing all the reasons why you cannot slow down, why you have to keep pushing, why everything will fall apart if you stop holding it together. But I am telling you that the very thing you are afraid will happen if you let go is already happening because you are holding on too tightly. You are exhausted. Your body is tired. Your mind is tired. Your soul is tired. And that exhaustion is not because you are weak. It is because you have been operating in survival mode for so long that you forgot what it feels like to live from a place of rest. I am inviting you back into rest, not as an escape, not as avoidance, but as the foundation from which everything else in your life is meant to flow. You cannot give from emptiness. You cannot lead from depletion. You cannot love well when you are running on fumes, and you have been running on fumes longer than you want to admit. This is your moment to stop, to breathe, to let me carry what you were never meant to carry alone. I know you are scared. I know you are afraid that if you stop holding everything together, it will all collapse. But I am not asking you to abandon responsibility. I am asking you to share it with me, with the people I have placed in your life, with the systems and rhythms that create space for rest instead of relentless striving. You have been waiting for permission. Here it is. You have permission to be tired. You have permission to need help. You have permission to say no. You have permission to rest without feeling guilty. You have permission to take care of yourself without calling it selfish. You have permission to stop performing and start living. And I want you to know something else. Something that might be hard to believe but is absolutely true. I am proud of you, not because you did everything perfectly, not because you never stumbled or doubted or questioned. I am proud of you because you kept going, because you did not give up even when giving up would have been easier, because you chose to believe even when belief felt like the hardest choice you could make. That perseverance matters. It shaped you, it strengthened you, it prepared you for what is coming. And what is coming is good. It is not more of the same struggle. It is not another season of waiting and wondering and feeling stuck. It is breakthrough. It is movement. It is the answer to prayers you prayed so long ago that you almost forgot you prayed them. But I did not forget. I have been preparing the answer the entire time. And now it is ready. Now you are ready. Now the timing is right. I know you want details. I know you want to know exactly what it looks like, and when it will happen, and how it will unfold. And some of that will become clear very soon. But right now, I need you to do one thing. I need you to trust me. Trust that I have not brought you this far to abandon you now. Trust that the waiting was not wasted. Trust that the pain you endured was not pointless. Trust that I see you, I know you, and I am working all things together for your good, even when you cannot see how. That trust is what will carry you into the next season, not certainty. Not having all the answers, not knowing every detail before you take the first step. Trust. And I know trust is hard. I know you have been disappointed before. I know there were times you trusted and things did not turn out the way you hoped. I am not asking you to ignore that pain. I am asking you to bring it with you, to let it make you wiser, not harder, to let it teach you discernment, not cynicism. Because what is coming will require you to be open, to be vulnerable, to be willing to hope again, even though hoping has hurt before. And I will be with you in that. I will not let you walk into this next season unprotected. I will not send you into places I have not already prepared for you. I will not ask you to do things I have not already equipped you to do. You are not going alone. You were never alone, and you will never be alone. That is my promise to you. Not that everything will be easy. Not that you will never struggle again, but that in every struggle, in every question, in every moment of uncertainty, I will be there, close, present, speaking, guiding, holding. You just have to keep listening, keep trusting, keep taking the next step even when you cannot see the entire path. And here is what I need you to remember. This moment right now, this pause, this interruption, it was necessary. You needed to hear this. You needed to be reminded that you are not forgotten. You needed to know that the waiting has a purpose. You needed to feel my presence in a way that cuts through all the noise and all the doubt and all the fear. If this is speaking to your heart, I want to invite you to do something simple. Leave a comment below. Just type the word ready if you are ready to step into what is next. Or type I trust you if you are choosing to trust even when you do not have all the answers yet. Let that simple act be your agreement with what I am saying to you right now. Let it be your yes to the new season. Let it be your decision to release the weight and step into rest. Because what I am about to do in your life requires your participation. Not your perfection, not your performance, but your willingness, your openness, your yes. And I know you are tired of saying yes when you do not know where it will lead. I know you are tired of stepping out in faith and not seeing immediate results. But this time is different. Not because I am asking for blind faith, but because the preparation is complete. The groundwork is laid. The pieces are in place. All that is left is for you to take the step. One step, not 10, not 100, just one, and then another, and then another. And as you move, you will see that I have already gone ahead of you. You will see that the path is clearer than you thought. You will see that the provision you were worried about is already there. You will see that the strength you thought you did not have rises up as you need it, because that is how I work. Not by giving you everything up front so you can figure it out on your own, but by walking with you step by step, providing what you need exactly when you need it, teaching you to depend on me instead of on your own understanding. And that dependence is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the safest place you could ever be, depending on me, leaning on me, trusting that I know what I am doing even when you do not. So here is what I need you to do. When you finish reading this, do not rush back into the noise. Do not immediately fill the silence with distractions. Sit for a moment, breathe. Let what you just read settle in your spirit. Let it do the work it was meant to do. And then, when you are ready, take one small step toward rest. Maybe it is saying no to something that is draining you. Maybe it is asking someone for help. Maybe it is giving yourself permission to rest without guilt. Maybe it is just acknowledging out loud that you are tired and you need me. Whatever that step is, take it and watch what happens. Watch how I meet you in that step. Watch how I provide what you need. Watch how the weight begins to lift in ways you did not expect. Because I am faithful, I am present, I am working, and I am not done with you yet. Not even close. The best is still ahead, and you are about to see it unfold in ways that will leave you breathless, grateful, and certain that every moment of waiting was worth it. So stay with me. Keep listening. Keep trusting. Keep taking the next step. And know that I am with you every single moment, closer than your breath, nearer than your next heartbeat. Speaking, guiding, loving, and I am so proud of who you are becoming. Even in the middle of the struggle, even in the middle of the waiting, even in the middle of the uncertainty, you are becoming exactly who you were created to be. And I cannot wait for you to see what I see when I look at your life. It is beautiful. It is purposeful. It is worth every ounce of struggle you have walked through to get here, and it is just beginning. Before we continue, I want to ask you something. If this message has touched your heart, if you feel like this is exactly what you needed to hear today, would you take a moment to like this video? Or share it with someone who needs to hear it too? Sometimes the very thing that brings breakthrough to your own heart is the same thing someone else desperately needs. Your simple act of sharing could be the interruption in their day that changes everything. Now, let me speak to something you have been carrying in silence. I know there is a part of your story you have not told anyone, a wound you have not fully acknowledged, a fear you have not spoken out loud because naming it makes it too real. I see it. I have always seen it. And I need you to know that you do not have to keep hiding it from me. I already know, and I am not scared of it. I am not disappointed by it. I am not going to turn away because of it. You have spent so much energy managing how others perceive you, making sure they see the strong version, the put-together version, the version that has it all figured out. But that performance is exhausting you, and it is keeping you from the very connection and healing you need most. What if you did not have to perform anymore? What if you could be honest about where you are struggling? What if you could admit that you do not have all the answers, and that is okay? What would change if you gave yourself permission to be human, instead of trying to be superhuman? I am inviting you into that kind of honesty, not with everyone, not in every space, but with me, and with the safe people I have placed in your life, the ones who will not judge you for being real, the ones who will sit with you in your mess and not try to fix you or rush you out of it. Those people exist, and I am bringing them closer in this new season. You have been isolated for too long, not always physically, but emotionally, spiritually. You learned to carry everything alone because you did not believe anyone else could handle the weight of what you were truly feeling. But isolation is not strength. It is survival. And you are moving out of survival and into life. Real life, full life, connected life. The kind of life where you do not have to pretend, where you can be tired and still be loved, where you can be confused and still be valued, where you can be imperfect and still be worthy. That is the life I have always wanted for you, and it is the life you are stepping into right now. So let me ask you again, what weight are you still holding that you were never meant to carry? Name it, not out loud if you are not ready, but in your heart. Acknowledge it, bring it into the light. Stop pretending it does not exist, because as long as you keep it hidden, it will keep draining you. And I want you free, truly free, not just managing, not just surviving. Free, and freedom starts with honesty, with admitting what is really going on beneath the surface, with saying I cannot do this alone anymore. That admission is not defeat. It is the beginning of breakthrough. It is the moment when you stop trying to be your own savior, and you let me be who I have always been. Your provider, your protector, your peace. I have been waiting for you to let me in, not waiting with impatience or frustration, waiting with love, with readiness, with everything you need already prepared. And now here we are, you, me, This moment, nothing between us but your willingness to receive, so receive. Let this truth settle deep. You are loved. Not because of what you do, not because of how strong you are, not because of how well you hold everything together. You are loved because you are mine. And nothing you have done or failed to do changes that. Nothing you will do or fail to do in the future will change it either. My love is not conditional. It is not earned. It is given freely, fully, completely, and it is yours right now, in this moment. As you are messy, tired, uncertain, you are loved. And that love is the foundation for everything that is about to unfold in your life. It is the steady ground beneath your feet when everything else feels shaky. It is the voice that speaks truth when lies try to take root. It is the light that leads you forward when the path ahead is unclear. You are not walking into this next season alone. You are not figuring it out by yourself. You are not carrying the weight of your future on your shoulders. I am with you and you for you. And I am more committed to your breakthrough than you could ever be. Because I see what is on the other side of this. I see the version of you that is free from the weight. I see the joy that is coming. I see the peace that is waiting. I see the purpose that is about to be activated. And I am moving heaven and earth to make sure you get there. Not because you have to perform, but because I love you, and love always makes a way. So one more time I am asking you, will you trust me? Will you let go of the weight? Will you step into rest? Will you believe that I am working even when you cannot see it? Your answer does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be without doubt. It just has to be yes. A tired yes, a scared yes, a hopeful yes. Whatever kind of yes you can offer right now, I will take it, and I will meet you there. And together, we will walk into everything I have prepared for you, everything you have been waiting for, everything you have been praying for. It is closer than you think, and it is better than you imagine. So breathe, trust, rest, and get ready, because your breakthrough is here.